Bollywood is finally back in select theatres, and I went back to watch a Hindi film in a cinema hall probably after close to 4 months. While I masked up, got a tad bit emotional and hopeful, wishing for a day where all theatres across India can open up and there can be some form of normalcy, I was geared up for the much awaited film BellBottom. Before I got into the film, I did a bit of researching to have the right context for the film and what chapter of Indian history it is dealing with. While reading about the period between 1971 and 1984, you realize that India was under constant social turmoil. Everything from wars to civil unrest, there were a lot of problems we were dealing with as a country. The several hijacking cases that took place with respect to Indian Airlines since 1971 consumed that decade. BellBottom explores the time where there was extreme civil unrest in Punjab and the hijacking attempt by the extremist groups that seek for Khalistan in August of 1984. The domestic flight from Chandigarh to Srinagar was taken to Lahore and eventually to Dubai. With 100 passengers on board, the mission to get civilians out safe, the negotiations that took place in Dubai, the careful planning between India and the Defense Minister of UAE to capture the hijackers who demanded to be taken to USA and bring them back to Indian soil is all that BellBottom will focus on, other than the fact that there are many creative liberties that they take. While the film steers away from spelling out such details with nuance, making it a black and white simplistic raw versus ISI narrative, I thought it was my prerogative just to bring in the forefront what part of Indian history is this movie actually focusing on. BellBottom is an agent espionage thriller based on real events with many creative liberties, starring Akshay Kumar, so as to showcase how one man, with the help of several factions of course, orchestrates an extremely complex rescue mission. Here's me telling you the good and bad aspects of the film so that you guys can ultimately decide whether to watch BellBottom in select theatres or in the future on an online platform or not. The underwhelming aspects, the romantic angle and personal insight. I necessarily don't understand the need for a romantic angle or interest in such type of film. See, this movie is not a biopic on the person that Akshay Kumar is playing. This is not Shershah, where an in-depth look into his personal life is essential, as it more or less paves the way to understand the protagonist more. The focus of BellBottom is precisely the case at hand and how it is executed. The film attempts to steer a personal incentive with Akshay Kumar's character to take an interest in the case, which makes a very nuanced and complex mission based on real events a simple revenge twist. I feel sad for Vaani Kapoor also, as she is restricted to a romantic track and being the wife who opens the door for her husband and gets the food ready. While the makers try to inculcate the thought in our heads that she was important all along, it is definitely a stretch. And what is true is that she is immaterial to the grand scheme of things, as she was in her previous film War. While the staggering age difference has become somewhat of a regular feature, it's still a tad bit uncomfortable. Movies like Should They See Romance have provided us a glimpse of Vaani's potential, and knowing her movie lineups ahead, it would be good to see more meaty and challenging roles for her. Sadly, there is nothing much to look forward to regarding Vaani Kapoor's role or the relevance of the romantic angle in BellBottom. Special effects or VFX. The skepticism that we had of some of the looks in the trailer is evident in the film as well. The problematic special effects that looked cartoonish in the trailer are magnified in this case on the big screen. While the film and its visuals are not jarring to the point of completely overwhelming you, it is especially the case with the shots of the airplanes taking off or landing, where the generic special effects become more evident. Just on a side note, for whosoever has seen the film, there is a sequence in a Gurudwara where it became so abundantly clear that a baby doll is being held rather than an actual baby. I thought that was quite funny. The good. Makeup and prosthetics. I am still in awe of the fact that Indira Gandhi is played by Lara Dutta. I am still in such utter shock of the skillful makeup done by Colette Ford and the team. Naina from Partner and Aisha from Dawn 2, the same Lara Dutta. It tells you the magic and skills that prosthetics and makeup can do to transform and change people so drastically to the point of not being recognizable at all. Many looks came to my mind, be it Amitabh Bachchan from Pa, Shabana Azmi in Makdi, or Rajkumar Rao from Rabta. The people behind the scenes don't get enough credit, and kudos to them for such an impeccable job. Background score. While I'm glad that Sakhiya 2.0 does not feature in the film because it was quite the task to listen to that awful rendition, the music of the film is actually nice and fitting of the sequences. While a crowd pleaser romantic number Mar Jawa is sung beautifully by Gurnazar Singh and Aziz Kaur, Tum Aoge playing in the conclusion also encapsulates the melancholic and heartfelt concluding moments of the film. The highlight, however, has to be the background music composed by Daniel B. George and the trailer score by Julius Pakiam. that kicks in just at the right moment. It gives you as an audience the adrenaline rush that is required for a thriller that picks up its pace. Supporting cast. There isn't enough said about how truly amazing Adil Hussain is as an artist. The man has done countless number of supporting roles in Hindi films and has got little to no praise for the perfect way in which he assimilates in these different fictional worlds. The man playing superior to BellBottom perfectly channelizes the demeanor required for a man recruiting individuals from Raw. He reminded me a bit of the iconic character played by Jaideep Ahlawat in Razi. Determined, mostly stoic and extremely specific with his instructions. I have to confess though that Denzel Smith is terribly wasted in this film, appearing in most of the scenes where there is a core meeting but having little to no dialogues. Huma Qureshi appears in an extended cameo but does as the script requires, and let's face it, Huma is a talent who, despite her brief appearance, she makes her presence felt every time. It is Lara Dutta as Indira Gandhi who really impressed me. There is a sense of confidence showcased by her in front of camera that is not only reflective of her maturity as a performer, but exactly what the character of Indira Gandhi needed. She stands out in all the core meetings, laying an impression with audiences that we would actually love to see her more in films or probably even in a series in the future. Second half editing and pacing. One of the main reasons why BellBottom becomes an engaging thriller eventually is because of its slick second half that not only changes gears like a supercar but also presents the staples of Hindi cinema in theatres that we dearly missed. The film progresses into the case being just at the grasp of Raw, to seeming as if there is no hope for it to be a success, and all of this takes place in quick succession, keeping you engaged for how the story will unfold. This is backed by some crowd-pleasing dialogues which I'm sure if I was in a packed theatre would have resulted in some hooting and whistling, while the second half may have the staples of Akshay Kumar films which include Pakistani officials being an embarrassment, and oddly in this film what seems like PR for United Arab Emirates, who give speeches to the Indians about humanity and peace, it still draws you in because you're invested at the mission at hand. The rescue tactics culminating into a sandstorm action sequence reminiscent of Ghost Protocol will keep you thoroughly engaged. Had it not been for the vast improvement in the pacing of the film in its second half, BellBottom would have been an extremely tough film to salvage. Akshay Kumar. As I previously discussed in the trailer review of BellBottom, Akshay Kumar is in his comfort zone when it comes to such films with a nationalistic sentiment. Be it Baby or Airlift, BellBottom is an extension of that same universe that has become popular in Akshay Kumar's filmography. The man is undoubtedly a stellar performer. He leaves no stone unturned in convincing us that he has the ability to pull off stunts like he hasn't aged over 35. And even in the emotional scenes provides you a glimpse of why he is still such a relevant star after so many years. You know when you signed up for this film that it will be a hero-centric Akshay Kumar film who saves the day. Am I getting exhausted watching the same versions of Akshay Kumar? Maybe. Does it necessarily mean BellBottom doesn't work as a film? Hell no. It is an extremely bold move by him to release his film in theatres, understanding the current predicament the world is in and the financial risk he bears in doing so. I would just like to say that BellBottom is a good film, well edited and executed, especially in its second half, that marks the return of a brighter future, hopefully for the Hindi film industry in theatres worldwide. And that was the video, guys. Write down in the comments below what you thought about BellBottom. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram. The handles are right in front of you. Follow me at JammyPants4. Also, please support us by smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you for watching.